Welcome once again to your lunchtime news. We are sorry to arrive to you this late, but again, we appreciate you allowing us into your lunchtime space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and into the bulletin, the Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, has urged the Muslim community to leverage banking services, including access to the parish development model funds through the recently launched Salam Bank by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The Vice President commended the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council for their progressive approach, highlighting their dedication to inclusivity by involving women and youth in the administration of Muslim affairs. She made these remarks while presiding over an iftar dinner organized by UMSC, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, with the theme Religion for Peace Building, Empowerment and Human Rights.
The banking services, including access to parish development model funds for household wealth creation.
Muslims from all structures, from all levels, to celebrate the Iftari dinner, to celebrate the unity, also to contribute, to see how to contribute to the development of our people and contribute to the programs of the government. We need Muslims to participate in government programs to fight poverty.
As government, we appreciate the Muslim community for sharing your time with us during this special period. We should live by example and encourage all other Ugandans, most especially the employers, to show empathy towards Muslim workers during the period of Ramadan, so that they can fulfill this great pillar of the faith. And in Cabinet, whenever His Excellency is in the chair on Monday during Ramadan, when it is few minutes to 7, he always announces that the Muslims are free to depart and break their fast. So this should be emulated by all education institutions, government institutions, both central government and private sector. We should endeavor to see that divine practices do not stop at the end of this holy month, but continue to prevail as our norms always. Government initiated the Interreligious Council of Uganda and supports unity and peace of interfaith dialogue as part of freedom of worship enshrined in our constitution. We appreciate seeing Muslims and Christians gathering together in various fora to share and honor the holy month of Ramadan. This is a credible achievement for uniting citizens.
Standard Chartered Bank Uganda has hosted the Muslim community in its annual iftar dinner as a way of appreciating them during the holy month of Ramadan. According to the bank, the event enables them to interact with clients, learn about their latest endeavors, and find out how the bank can continue to support them.
Yes, he's a man of purposeful titles and you may be worshiping your Almighty. That's why we fast. And also, fasting is a training ground. It's a school. When God tells you something which is lawful, which is halal, eating, drinking, that is not allowed from this time to this time, He's training you to develop that character, to abstain from all evil.
This iftar dinner is a pointer to the attachment you place on the Muslim community, and broadly a sign of your eye and inclusivity, which no doubt would deepen your understanding of those you deal with, serve, and work with.
If you have a good relationship with God, you're a good Muslim, you pray, you fast, but you're not good to your neighbor, you're not good to your colleague. As you are ascending and progressing in your career, you're stepping on others. You have no mercy towards others. You're not kind. Then all what you're doing, your prayers and everything, will not benefit you in the day of judgment.
Standard Chartered family, you have demonstrated that you have something in common with His Excellency the President. You have also showed you work in line with your mission, driving commerce and prosperity through our unique diversity. That should be the way winners should work.
Now, members of Parliament on the Committee of HIV, AIDS and related matters are urging religious and cultural leaders to unite in the battle against HIV and AIDS. This call was made during a visit to Kamuli and Buyende districts to assess the status of HIV incidence prevalence and viral load expression. The committee's chairman or chairperson, Sarah Kayaji, rallied everyone to join this cause.
The Committee of Parliament on HIV and AIDS has conducted an oversight visit to Kamuli and Buyende to assess the impact of HIV and AIDS on society.
That both the districts of Buyende and Kamuli, the prevalence rates were not so high, but the numbers are increasing. And the issues that have come out of this meeting is we are still having so many gaps in the area of parenting. We have seen that teenage pregnancies here are very high. And when we talk about teenage pregnancy, we also speak about HIV infections. We have also found out that there is a drug resistance in this area where many people are falling out of line 1 and they are ending up on line 2. We have also found out that in Buyende, mother-to-child transmission is also still a little high. Because if we are having 40 babies born HIV positive in the period of 3 to 6 months, then that keeps us worrying.
The team, led by the committee's chairperson, Sarah Kayaji, requested religious leaders to revive a letter drafted that was meant to be read in all prayer sermons across the country.
Those who are getting pregnant, they are between the age of 13 to about 15. But when you test the girls vis-a-vis the boys, it is coming out that the girls are turning out positive and yet the boys are turning out negative. So we have also come to discover that it's men, mature men of the age of 25 and above who are actually engaging in sexual activities with these young girls. We have not had these letters being read for a very long time, and we want to request and encourage our religious leaders to rejuvenate and bring this letter back so that they can keep reading to the Christians and speaking about HIV and how we can prevent the new infections in the country.
Kayaji urged religious leaders to incorporate health issues into their sermons, fostering a healthy population conducive to development. She commended the Buganda Kingdom for their Kabaka's Birthday Run theme, focusing on HIV and AIDS awareness.
People believe in their kingdom and they believe in their cultural leaders. The same thing can be done in Bosoga with the Chavazinga, the same thing can be done in Teso with the Imorimor, the same thing can be done in Bogisu by the Umukuka, where all these cultural leaders come together and we change the way we handle our cultural activities and turn them into a way of preaching the gospel in prevention and ending HIV by 2030.
Sarah Kayaji advised people to undergo HIV and AIDS testing to know their status and commence treatment early. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwitabinji.
And in the area of insurance, the Insurance Brokers Association of Uganda has disclosed that a number of insurance users are increasing compared to previous years. This increase is attributed to the growth of awareness about the benefits of insurance in the country. In line with The Insurance Brokers Association of Uganda organized a conference in Mbale to sensitize the public about the importance of embracing insurance.
Then the future of insurance, it's bright. It's a bright future. Insurance can only grow. We can no longer ignore it. We have seen the numbers grow over the years. We have seen our population appreciating insurance like never before. For example, in the past, in the days of our parents, you would hardly talk about covers like funeral cover. Every time you would mention a funeral cover, your father would ask, "Do you want to kill me?" But today, our parents are appreciating that it's important for them to plan for their funerals. So we have covers like funeral cover that are being bought in big numbers. There are premiums as low as 5,000 shillings per month, or even 10,000 or even 20,000 shillings a year, and you can get a very good funeral cover, for example, for your family.
If you've met all the requirements and you submit your license today, by in the evening, you've got the license ready. So from that perspective, we are also, and also in the next 3 to 4 months, we are introducing a risk-based supervision software. We are currently doing the test runs. We have 3 modules that we have adopted, and by the end of December, we shall have completed all the 3 modules. And going forward, we shall be carrying out risk-based supervision effectively online.
In our environment, we also have more complicated risks, more high-value risks, whether it's a factory, whether it's a processing plant. Now, with these more complicated ones, it needs face-to-face. It needs one-on-one. And so as the insurance industry, depending on the risk that is out there, where technology is needed, we'll embrace it fully. And where one-on-one is needed, we do that as well.
Now, the LC3 chairman of Luweero Town Council, Chris Buwembo, has stressed the importance of collaboration among technical staff within his jurisdiction during a press conference held at Luweero Town Council.
Of the works in the Luweero Town Council basically is not majorly caused by Luweero Town Council as an entity. It's not in our management that will fail, because we've collected the taxes and the revenue has gone to URA and then back to the Ministry of Finance. But right now, as of now, we are talking of over 500 millions that have not yet been released back to us to do the work. Because remember, the decentralization policy was revoked by the government of Uganda, that is the Parliament of Uganda, I think. But previously the Parliament has reversed the decision that we take, that we send all the money that we collect from the taxpayers, and finally we hear that work is not going on quite well just because the funds are still up. I think on this note, they should revoke what they had taken to be removing the decentralization policy, that the policy comes back to work for the people of Luweero, not only in Luweero, but entire Uganda in the towns, in that the roads can be maintained, the markets can be built, lights can be put on the roads, allowances for councillors and other allowances for technical people. Till the Ministry of Finance since January, and we are starving. Basically, why I had to do that, previously when I was out of the country, a lot has happened. Previously they brought even dead bodies to the town council, and now such a building also crop up. I know it's in their mandate as technical people to do their responsibilities or work. But when you look at this now, how did this person build that building to that level? And where was the technical people? Then from that moment, you find that I asked them to caution the person who built. Either they clear that person in the way of paying what is required to be paid, that he remains there, or they report him to the court, that they get a court order to break.
Now, a little bit into the health sector. Medical experts have warned the general public against resisting the uptake of the yellow fever jab recently launched by government. Experts say that yellow fever is a deadly disease which affects the liver of the unvaccinated persons.
Government of Uganda recently launched a countrywide mass vaccination of yellow fever in Uganda. The exercise has commenced at various health facilities and schools across the country. Medical experts explain why a person should take the yellow fever vaccine.
Yellow fever has no cure. Yellow fever has no specific drug. It affects the liver, and we all know when the liver is dead, there's no way you can be okay. Because any drug to treat you, it is the liver that digests the drug. Yeah, so I urge everyone to be immunized. This drug is very safe because me myself, I was the first person to be immunized.
The campaign is fairly good, though we haven't really reached 50% of the target population. For the first 4 days, we have been targeting schools because we have a target of the age group between 1 year to 60 years.
Among the categories exempted from taking the jab are persons with chronic medical conditions. Experts say uptake of this jab may exert pressure on the liver.
You see, basically, this drug goes to the liver. Now the liver is overwhelmed. You're taking the drugs for hypertension, you're taking the drugs for the DM, and again you're getting the shot. The liver is overburdened. It is once in 10 years. Yeah, but if you feel you want to come back, you can come back for the booster dose.
With HIV, we do stage them because having HIV does not mean that you are sick, but we are basically leaving those ones who are in stage 3, clinical stage 3 and 4. Why do we say clinical stage 3 and 4? Those ones have already developed the AIDS state. They are sick, chronically sick, and some are in advanced stage.
Uptake of the yellow fever vaccine is still low in some parts of the country, while others have adhered to this cause. Medics call for more sensitization to parents.
We have been here for 3 days in Niboyogere CU Primary School, and we are so privileged that the turn-up has been good. The parents of this school accepted their children to be vaccinated against yellow fever, and there has been no resistance.
In the schools at first they were a little bit resistant and hesitant because they had it in them that they had to consult from their parents. But we went on to educate the proprietors and the head teachers of schools that it is not anywhere guided that we shall consult from the parents.
At Boyogero Church of Uganda Primary School, the exercise was carried out in 3 days due to the large number of learners. Health workers say the only challenge got was with the dates of birth of the learners.
The immunization was carried thoroughly well because I had very many children. In my school, I have 1,342 children, and we found ourselves that we have to give out three days carrying the exercise. 1 day was not enough.
Yellow fever is a viral infection spread to the people by the bite of an infected mosquito. Illness ranges from a fever with aches and pains to severe liver disease with bleeding and yellowing skin, which in the long run may lead to death. Mary Namkose, Mike Bakabulindi, UBC News.
Let's run for a break, and shortly we will be back with more news. Stay with us.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're Sotinge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable. Junko.
Yo.
Check the shopping man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Joko, I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. But what you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Welcome back from that short break, and as we step into the world of business in a bid to enhance access to services in Uganda, Registration Services Bureau has launched an online business registration system. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede, commended URSB for the milestone achieved, as well as emphasizing the public to embrace such technological advancements.
Previously, registering a business with URSB required cumbersome paperwork and prolonged waiting periods for certificates. However, with the launch of the online business registration system, the registration process is streamlined and automated, significantly reducing time and effort.
We have had already discussions of improving this system further. You know, we said we can't work in isolation. There are 25 MDAs that are already cross-checking information with this system, but there are also other systems that need to be automated. For example, when you're registering a business, you have to have a postal address, and that postal address resides with post office, for example. So we want to create ease of doing business, like the board chair said.
Despite the benefits of digitalization, concerns about potential job losses due to automation persist.
Before, when people were doing registration of their businesses, they would come in and maybe you have a copy typist entering data and all this, but today people are doing it themselves using either a phone or a computer or a laptop. So we don't need a copy typist in a room somewhere to be entering this data. So that job is no more. However, the person who was doing that job can now go online and start, processing these applications as they come in.
Masika Inewisho, the Registrar General of URSB, revealed that the agency aims to register over 873,543 unregistered businesses by the end of the fiscal year 2026-2027.
The core functions are to register all those over 30 registers that we have. We also maintain the registers, and we collect non-tax revenue as we register as well. And we have registered a lot of progress in terms of business registration. There's an increase in company registrations by over 35%.
This shift to online registration has minimized corruption risks and increased fairness in application process.
Uganda is one of the places where it is easy to do business. Now, the ease with which you can register is one way of determining or contributing to a country's attractiveness to foreign investment, even local investments. If you know you can just register a company, it's a matter of 2 hours. And in another country, it takes about a month. Definitely your choice is obvious. You would go where it is easier.
This launched online registration service that was rolled a year back has since collected 90 billion Ugandan shillings for government.
Registrar General, with your permission.
Crossover onto the international scene, where NATO members pledged to boost Ukraine's air defenses against Russian attacks as the alliance marked its 75th anniversary Thursday following a 2-day summit of the foreign ministers in Brussels.
Despite NATO's support for Ukraine, Russia continues to make battlefield gains and continues to rain down missiles and drones on Ukraine's cities. 4 people were killed and dozens injured in this attack on the eastern city of Kharkiv. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg gave a sobering assessment as the alliance meeting closed Thursday.
The situation on the battlefield remains serious. Ukraine needs more air defenses, more ammunition, and more aid. And therefore, allies will now go back and look into their inventories, look into if there are any ways they can provide more systems, in particular Patriots.
Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba appealed to NATO allies to give that aid and made a specific request for American-made Patriot air defense missiles.
Saving Ukrainian lives, saving Ukrainian economy, saving Ukrainian cities depends on the availability of Patriots and other air defense systems in Ukraine. And we're talking about Patriots because it's the only system that can intercept ballistic missiles. And only in March, Ukraine was hit with 94 ballistic missiles.
The US Congress is still blocking a military aid package for Ukraine worth around $60 billion. Speaking in Brussels Thursday, Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged lawmakers to vote for the bill.
We know what the needs are. Air defenses, artillery, munitions. So I believe, based on what I heard today, that everyone, including the United States, is going to double back and, as necessary, double down on finding the resources that Ukraine continues.
And into sports, Uganda Cricket Association has released the 15 women's squad for the upcoming T20 Women's Global Qualifier Tournament. Notable names in the newly promoted team includes Captain Jen Babazi, Vice Captain Rita Musamali, Kevin Awino, Sarah Walaza and Sarah Akiteng. The final 15 for the T20 Global Finals qualifiers has only one change, with Pruskovia Alako making a return for Immaculate Nandera. The rest of the squad was part of the training tour to India at Omtex and African Games in Ghana. Uganda is in Group A alongside Scotland, Thailand, USA and Sri Lanka, while Uganda faced Thailand and Scotland at the 2018 Global Qualifiers in the Netherlands. This tournament marks their first encounter with USA and Sri Lanka. The top teams in the group will qualify for the final and the semi-finals, with the finalists earning a ticket to the 2024 T20 Women's World Cup in Bangladesh later this year. The Victoria Pearls will leave Uganda on 9-10th April and will play 2 warm-up games against Vanuatu and UAE before the group stages begin on April 25th. Uganda will experience playing under lights for the first time against Scotland and Thailand, while the matches against USA and Sri Lanka are a day. That's it from us. Thank you so much for allowing us into your lunchtime space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. We'll catch up with you at 8 and 10 tonight.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko. Yo. Hawachikuwa.